We must awaken. I'm not in the box of, oh yes sir, let me take your coat, or, oh, pardon me, I didn't mean to intrude. I'm a halogen shadow on the wall of a bar, waiting for last call so I can finally be shut off until the next night's darkness brings me back into that neon environment. Thank you. You have to excuse this, it's pretty rough, but I did write it, and I wrote it just for you. At some point it became obvious that I had been manipulated. I was sitting in the quiet living room of a 1 p.m. morning, the memory of cigarette smoke ending in short breaths as my hand groped my groin. I never recognized the power of internal hallucination, how a single sentence had the ability to change the pattern of a person's perception. I remember the sentence clearly, though the instance surrounding it being spoken is nothing in this future but blurred hallucination. I just love swingers. That was her. No, I'm just kidding. That was the one that laid the trap and found herself writhing into my brain, coaxing me onto a path as I blindly followed suit with a, well, of course, swingers are excellent. Idiot. It's incredible the way a woman can simply speak and a man is turned upside down. We really are simple beings. And when it comes down to it, a flutter of eyelashes and a grin so vile that even Hades would smile in return shape-shifted her words into a truth that literally etched themselves into my genetic code like the hunger-demanding satiation after procreation. And a vulnerable man like me, well, I've taken a lot of psychedelics in my day, but there is no drug, no addiction more bittersweet than the touch of her fingernails grinding lightly against my sweat-soaked skin, pant clouds raising the temperature bit by bit as she, resting on my shoulder, turns into my ear and begins to sculpt my being into her vision of what I should be, a hallucination of shifting memory. Then again, it wasn't just the thought of her laying her hands on me, or the thought of her laying beside me that fueled this crisscrossed vision of reality. It was the way that her lungs pressed air through her vocal cords so softly. The way that sound sneaked into my ears like an orgasm, sending shivers down my spinal column that echoed through the Parthenon I'd become. Ancient and vacant with 1 million ghost stories shaded by the lapse of solitary time. The way she walked like a gyroscope hypnotized me into believing that I was the one lucky man who would be allowed to watch that shimmy slowly descend into a crested hobble. That I would be the one sitting at the desk on a late night when suddenly, warm hands, her hands, fresh and viral and bearing fresh coffee, would come down around me, squeeze me, hold me for a minute too much while soft lips buried themselves into my neck. I just love swingers, she would lie to me. And I'm a sucker for drugs that alter my perception.